Hello everybody, hail, this is Michelle. I'm back with another video. So once again, it's time for another runic video. I just took I didn't take a shower. Basically I just washed my hair. I will be taking a shower in a little bit. I just wanted to get this done so that I didn't forget to do it when it was time to go and do it. So this is going to kind of be a little bit of a long video, so I'm going to do the rune reading, and then I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. And something that I think needs to be addressed as somebody who, and I'll say this once again, I do not practice Reconstructionism at all. I do have a video that marks 5 years being a heathen, but that's going to be done in March. But I kind of just want to talk about something, and I hope all of you had a great week. I went grocery shopping, started grocery shopping yesterday, and I picked up a tree, and I picked up some ornaments and an angel, and I literally had a moment when I was setting up that tree, especially when all the lights were turned on and it looked pretty, and I was hanging up the stockings and everything. I had a huge cry-in because it's Christmas time and Mom's not around, and I think I'm going to have those moments for a long time. But it was just like, it ain't Christmas without Mama. But you have to create your own traditions, and it hurts, but you have to do it. I bought this book yesterday. Briefcases by Jim Butcher. This is a collection of short stories that features Harry Dresden. And Sunday, I'm supposed to begin the first and second book of the Dresden Files. What I'm actually doing is I've read most of them, but not all of them. So I'm actually going to be collecting them, and they're going to be over there in my library. I mostly have mystery and horror. I don't have a lot. I don't really have, Jim Butcher books. I mean, I really love his series. I'm not exactly happy with what happened at the end of Battleground. I actually did not read it. Somebody kind of spoiled it. Which is stupid. Like, okay, first of all, let's just please enforce the no spoilers alert. I was kind of upset about it, but authors, they kill off characters all the time, and you don't have to like it, but you have to understand that that is the author's world and everything. That's why fan fiction's around, so you can write that they're still alive. But my mother liked the show. She thought it was cool. But yeah. So just having some mama memories right now. I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 10th month anniversary. So just having my mama moments and thinking about mama and what she would be doing right now and everything. So yeah, I'm just feeling a little depressed, but it is what it is. So alright, so let's stop talking about depressing things. Before I finish with that full thought or whatever, I did order the urn box, and it's supposed to be coming in on Monday. So I don't know what my schedule's going to be like, because my brother has not shared the new schedule. But if I'm off on Monday, then great. But I gotta be here. I gotta be here for that urn box. There's no way around it. I have to be here for the urn box. So I'm not going to have it sent back and then something happens to it and it gets damaged or whatever. So yeah, so it's one of those things that, that you gotta unfortunately get. So alright, so let's stop talking about some depressing things and let's focus on the runes. So oh man. Alright. So alright. Today's rune is this one. This rune has been drawn before, and it's humanity and human. The keywords are self, intelligence, collective consciousness, self-awareness, and assistance. It's a really good card. I like it. Hold on. Oh, lordy. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that was today's rune card, and I hope that somebody, so if you want to know what the rune card means, I do have a video where I did draw that card the first time, and I did in fact talk about it. I'm not really wanting to get in the habit of like repeating the same old meaning of the rune. If it's a new rune card, I will of course cover it. But if it's not a new rune card, I'll just show it off and just give you the keywords the book says. Alright, so I was watching one of Thorn Mooney's videos, and I really want to pick up her book on traditional Wicca. I actually have the book in my shopping cart along with, I believe, 4 more Jim Butcher novels. And so I'm getting those, and I'm also picking up another box of 100 spell candles. So yeah, so she was talking about why she still calls herself Wiccan, and how people think that's great that she's still calling herself a Wiccan, even though right now it's not really popular to be Wiccan. It's not cool anymore to be Wiccan. And there's a couple reasons for it, and I didn't watch the video entirely, so everything I'm saying is not based on what she said, because if it's something that I can do a video on where I don't have to rely on what someone else has said, then that's what I do. It's just something that I find easier to do. So one of the biggest attacks that you have on the religion of Wicca is the charge of cultural appropriation. And hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. It's the heater. So one of the biggest charges that goes on is the charge of cultural appropriation. And this has been going around in circles for a pretty long time. Not as long as Wicca's been around, but a pretty good long time. And one of the weirdest charges of cultural appropriation that I've ever have seen is the appropriation of tarot cards if you're not a gypsy or a member of the Roma group. That would be playing cards, not tarot. Tarot actually has been around for centuries, and it was considered to be a game you played, like you played solitaire or rummy or whatever. But back to so one of the biggest things of cultural appropriation is, of course, smudging and sweat lodges, and basically taking part in rituals that are not connected to your own culture or as part of another culture, especially because of the fact that the Native Americans were prohibited from practicing their religion and practicing their culture and all that jazz. So that is one of the things they're hit with, is cultural appropriation. And while I do use things like Palo Santo, I'm actually going to use up what I've got, and then I'm going to abandon the use of Palo Santo. I'm mostly going to be doing the spray misty thing, you know. And then of course there's the other side of it where you have people of color that really likes Egypt a lot, that says to people that are not of color, well, you can't worship our gods because you're not a person of color. And they level a charge of, cultural appropriation against people that worship Isis or worship Osiris, saying that they're committing cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation only applies to living cultures that have people that are part of that culture that's practicing an ancestral form of that religion. So. Yeah, this stuff is like really good. I got this over at Bath and Body Works. This is really good, and I've been using a lot of this, so I'm gonna have to go out and buy some more so I don't run out. But these are really good. The chapstick has a really bad habit of causing my lips to chap really badly. That's why I don't use it. This stuff, it just floods my lips with moisture, and it keeps the chapping from happening. So I prefer to keep it from happening than going through it. So anyways, so back to what I was saying. So the charge of cultural appropriation is everywhere. And that is one of the biggest things that Wicca's hit with, is cultural appropriation. And that, Wicca is primarily a white person's religion. There are people of color who do practice Wicca, that do take part in practices that are considered cultural appropriation, but I don't tell somebody what to do in their own home. I don't. It is their home, it is their practice, it is who they are. On the other hand, I also want to say this: I don't approve of cultural appropriation. My family, my ancestors, up to probably, I don't know, maybe like 1920, 1930, something like that, were Native American. My great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee, and no, I'm not saying this because, I want some connection with Native Americans. No, my grandmother actually said out of her own mouth that her mother was, in fact, Native American. She was Cherokee, and what the white person did to her mother and her grandparents and her great-grandparents, all the type of stuff, was one of the huge reasons that my grandmother could not stand white people. And people might think it's funny or hilarious, but we have to respect people's personal views, until they become something dangerous and something radicalized, then people can have their own opinion and their own whatever. So yeah. So cultural appropriation is a big one. The use of sweat lodge, the use of smudging, calling it smudging instead of it basically smoke cleaning or smoke, bathing, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so that is one of the big things. Let's see. Another thing that they are also hit with is the allegations of woo, basically practices that what we know as purists go after as being is being not compatible with the type of paganism that people over 2,000 years ago practiced. And I kind of want to talk on that a little bit. We don't know what these pagan cultures would have looked like if they had not been eradicated by Christianity. We don't know. We don't know what they would have been like. We don't know if what we're practicing now is what would have been practiced. And it's one of those things. It's one of those things that we have to really sit down and say, okay, I know this is not what was practiced over 2,000 years ago, but what if this ended up becoming what was practiced? And I think that's very important to come to that realization that that is something that could have happened. But we don't know because of the eradication part. But yeah, so there's a lot of other stuff. I can't remember all of them. So, and I'm not going to just go, I'm going to just make something up and say, yeah, that's what Wicca's being hit with. But back to the woo thing. So the purists, these are the people that, now not all people that are Reconstructionists have this belief, but if you look at a lot of places where a lot of groups are mainly anti-neo-pagan, they will actually exclude certain deities from their religion based on the fact is that they are hijacked by the neo-pagans. And when you hear the word hijacked in connection with neo-paganism, you know that there has to be some serious issues the person has with neo-paganism to the point where they're actually angry at them, which is not good. So one of the things that they do basically is, like, for example, is a lot of people that are involved in Hellenism has removed Hecate from worship because she has been hijacked by the neo-pagans. Personally, I think that's wrong to do, and that's just how I personally feel. And so when you have people that have those beliefs, you kind of really stare at them and go, really? Yeah, so you kind of stare at them in that aspect. But yeah. So there is that factor. There is that, Hecate's been hijacked by the neo-pagans, and so we're just not going to venerate her or give her offerings because of what people, whatever number of years ago, did. But you don't see that in like religions like Kemeticism. They just call her Aset instead of Isis. I think because of the adoption and stuff. It's just that certain gods and goddesses are really popular in modern day paganism. I'm tired right now. I have had one very long day, one very long night, and now I'm having another long day, and it's just like, I just want to go back to sleep, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so definitely let's cultural appropriation, woo, a number of other things. But yeah, so there is this big dividing line between neo-paganism and modern day Reconstructionists. And I, when I decided last month, it's yeah, it's getting upon 1 month tomorrow. Which is also weird because it's also the same day that Mom passed. But it's going on 1 month tomorrow. In the month that I have been, back honoring the Norse gods and back giving them offerings and everything. And calling myself a Nordic Wiccan, Norse witch, things like that, wearing those hats. I have just seen the amount of not sheer volume of hatred, but if you go and you just watch anyone's videos, they'll be like, oh yeah, Wicca does this and Wicca does that, and Wicca's not popular and blah blah blah. People, I think, doesn't seem to understand that not everybody wants to follow a pure path. A lot of people, they like their candles, they like their incense, they like their stuff. And it also speaking of the incense, it kind of reminds me of another article where, how there's this basic attack on this idea of, well, if you can't make the incense and you have store-bought, that's just as good. I really, really wish people would stop clamping down on people's practices. I spent 15 some years having my practice clamped down upon and being absolutely worried about practicing my religion. It amazes me about, oh, you have store-bought myrrh, you have store-bought frankincense, store-bought blah, 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 blah. That's not good because you got to make it yourself and all this other bullshit. As much as I would love to be able to make my own incense, and I am hoping to be able to do that starting at some point in the near future, we really have to take in consideration that, lo and behold, we do not have the money or resources to make our own incense, so we go out and buy store-bought incense. I have incense for Sagittarius, and I have not opened it in the 2 months I bought it, not because I don't want to burn it, but because I just don't whatever. But it is really annoying. It really is annoying beyond anything to have people to say, oh, I can't believe you still call yourself Wiccan, or Wicca has woo, or Wicca, the cultural appropriation thing, I'm not going to say is wrong for people to say, but I don't know. I just think the whole thing is just stupid and redundant and not needed. It's not like, as I said, let me backtrack. If somebody wants to call themselves a Wiccan, even if it's not popular, let them call themselves a Wiccan. That is something that I firmly believe people need to get out of other people's homes. Stop telling people what they can and cannot do, because it is redundant, it is stupid, and everything. And also, attacking occult practices does not make you look like you're hip or you're cool or whatever. It's just being petty and stupid. Alright, so I am going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Sunday, as I said, Sunday I've got 2 Jim Butcher books showing up, but I do have my 2021 Witches date book, and I will be showing that off when it gets here. So until next time, may be happy, healthy, most importantly be safe, and hail to the gods. Bye.